Hey there, I'm Croclo. In this guide I've decided to be serious and not wear the Santa hat. This headpiece is clearly a gift from the gods and will no doubt protect me well in the Mistlands. Let's get to it and start off with one of the hardest creatures you're going to come across, and that is the Seeker Soldiers. These things will come out of the mist at any time and scare the crap out of you. Like the Ooze, you'll probably hear them before you see them. The best time for you to attack them is when they are stomping on the ground. This is when they won't be chasing you and it gives you a chance to get 1 or 2 shots in. Your natural instinct is probably the same as mine, and you'll want to keep as much distance as possible from it to enable you to kite it easier. The thing is, due to the nature of this zone, you don't know what else is lurking in the mists. The further away you move from where it naturally spawned will increase the chance of you bumping into other creatures that will then join the fight. These things do pack one hell of a punch, and when they butt you with the head it does have a knockback effect. Be careful if you are up high, and definitely around water. If they knock you into any water, there is a very high chance you won't be able to get away and it's game over. What I like to do to save running around all over the place is to keep trying to go around it in circles. This method has a couple of distinct advantages on top of keeping it in one place. They tend to not be able to turn that sharply, and as it's doing its stomp attack onto the ground, the idea of this method is to try and get behind it, because at the back of its abdomen is where their weak spot is. The soldiers are resistant to blunt, pierce and slashing damage. My weapon of choice and what I recommend to you is the Draugr bow, preferably coupled with frost arrows, because although they are resistant to piercing damage, they ain't resistant to poison damage, and the frost effect will not only damage it, but it can slow them down as well. Looks like I've moved around the area too much, and have ended up with an extra Seeker joining the fight. If you're unlucky and this happens to you as well, try taking out the normal Seekers first. This should only take about 3, possibly 4 hits with the Draugr bow. After you've killed off any unwanted visitors, carry on with plan A, having a nice relaxing waltz with your Seeker soldier. The soldiers have got about 1500 health. Be prepared for a fight that may last a couple of minutes. Some of you may be wondering why this crazy fool doesn't take up the high ground. First reason is, where we're going next, there is no higher ground. And secondly is to demonstrate just how good this weapon can be without any terrain advantage. I will be heading to the Seeker Caves in just a moment. I will show you a few tips and tricks that I've picked up, 2 more options of weapons for you, one I recommend over the other, plus another different technique you can use to get rid of some Seekers in the cave. If you haven't got any frost arrows, just go with the fire ones. These will deal decent enough damage to any Seeker soldiers you find in the caves. I find it also easier to kill them inside and not be out in the open, because you can use the terrain to your advantage. Any stairs or pillars and you can kite them around without any difficulty. My personal favourite all-round weapon is the Draugr bow. What's your favourite weapon? Is it the same or something different? Now to show you a couple of different weapons on the normal Seekers. If you're just starting out in the Mistlands, you can either go with the silver sword here. If you get the full 3-swing combo, it is really effective. However, due to the fact you can't always guarantee getting in the 3-swing combo, they are resistant to slashing damage and immune to spirit. Because of this, anybody starting out in the Mistlands and wanting to explore the Seeker dungeons, before having access to endgame weapons, the weapon that I recommend is Frostner. Seekers don't have any frost resistance, making it a nice weapon to damage them with and slowing down their attacks at the same time. If you disagree with this choice, please let me know. In the Seeker dungeons, keep your eye out for any of the blue writing. Behind them is where you'll find a secret room, normally with a couple of chests for loot, but more importantly, if you're lucky, they contain black cores. You will need to collect a total of 15 of these to be able to build yourself a black forge, Gauder table and an Eater refinery. These are currently your endgame crafting stations. Time to show you a nice little trick with another item. Some of the passageways inside you will find blocked off by vines. No idea what this stuff is, to be honest. If you'd like to let me know. When you try shooting anything behind it, it has a tendency of breaking the vines at the same time. What you can use if there's a pack of Seekers behind is an Ooze bomb. These are great for the AoE damage, and also they do no damage to the vines whatsoever. It will normally only take a couple. I wasn't very accurate with the first throw and it didn't reach the one behind. As you can see though, it easily killed off 2 and pretty much finished off the 3rd one as well. 2 more bonus Mistland tips coming right up. Outside, when you're exploring the Mistlands, you might come across these roots with bright blue-green veins on it. Make sure to mark the location on your map. These roots are where you can get sap. You're going to need a fair bit of this stuff for refining Eater. The tool you will need to whack into the root to get the sap out can be found in crates that look like this, in some but not all of the Dvergr bases. If you smash open any of the crates within these bases, the Dvergrs will turn hostile and attack you. If there's only 1 or 2 of them in the base, you might fancy your chances, but they are pretty strong. Another trick you might fancy using, if you hear any Jarls about within the area, if you lure them to the base, the Dvergrs and the Jarls will attack each other. Make sure you stay clear when trying this method, just in case a series of unfortunate events happen just like this. Looks like there wasn't even a crate at the top of this one. I hope this guide helps you out. For hunting and killing Gnolls, check out this video next. See you soon and take it easy.